So, I wanted to make a video about my views on my dad my adoptive dad as an individual. I was previously perfectly willing to forgive the abuse and everything if he bettered himself. But to find he and his family, who know of the abuse, by the way, or at least his dad and his dad's wife do, but to find that no one was trying to help better him. They were trying to help deny everything and remind him everything's our fault and not his. And that's why I made that video, and that's why I feel like I'm the only person who can help my dad, because no one else is really trying to help him. They're trying to deny for him. And that's not how people get better. It's not how people recover from alcoholism or anything else. The only way I could forgive him is if he bettered himself. And if he accepted the reality of the situation and bettered himself from there. But as much as he tried to better himself, he wasn't willing to acknowledge anything that he's ever done wrong to me and my mother, while still trying to fix the relationships. And it doesn't work that way. I love my dad, because he's my dad, and I certainly don't want him to do anything stupid. I certainly don't want to be the cause of a suicide or anything else. But I know for a fact his family can't help him because they're not willing to accept the truths. And as long as they can't accept the truths, they can't help him. But that's how that family tends to work. They cover up bad things and act like they never happened. That's what they do. That's what they've always done. But that doesn't make anyone better. It makes people worse. And it's easy to cover up the truth when the truth isn't available for people to find. Which is why I shared the truth. And that way you can't deny it. His family will deny it anyway, I'm almost certain, since some of them already knew. But it's worth a try. I want to help my dad get better because I know no one else will. Because the people around him are not good influences. They're not able to help him. So I felt like someone has to do it. I don't believe that on the topic of whether abusers can change or not, I would like to believe that they can, and that's what I hold to. But I know in many cases they don't. And I'm prepared for that. But at least I can say that I tried to help him. I've told him in the past, sometimes you have to accept when your family is holding you back and not helping you get better. Of course, that's always a hard thing to accept about your family, but if you don't, when it's true, then you are throwing your life away for them. And that's not good either. I'm not sure. I don't think my mom and my dad will ever get back together. Pretty sure things are done at this point. But I want my dad to still better himself, accept the reality, and move forward. whatever forward means for him. I don't want him to have a mental breakdown or end up in a hospital or try to kill himself. And I'm not trying to push him into that place. I just don't want to be quiet while the people around him are not helping him. He needs to be helped, and they're not helping. I hate to say tough love is the answer, but in many situations, if your definition of normal love is denial and covering up things, then tough love is the answer. Saying, sitting someone down and saying, look, this is what happened. You need to accept that, face that, and deal with that. Not pretend it didn't happen and hope everyone will pretend with you. Growing up, I always hear people talking about growing up, I guess in the age of media at the very least, so teen years, I guess. People would always talk about how they think child abusers should get the death penalty, and I think that's stupid. Because all you do when you do that is give people the child who's been abused will grow up with grief, because they're the cause of that death sentence, or the cause of someone's life being taken away. People think they're helping by killing a child abuser, but really you're giving that child a lifetime of grief that helps no one. They would rather that child abuser be helped. That way no one has to feel pain. Because most often child abusers are the parents or a family member. And in those situations, sorry, the TV distracted me. It's really loud. So anyway, for child abuse victims, their family, the person who did it, to them is still their family, still someone they love, still someone they care about, and still somebody that they had good times with, because nobody is bad all the time. That doesn't exist. And so to kill that person with the death penalty just makes things worse in all situations. It's never good to give the death penalty to a child abuser if the child, for a fact, is still living. Not trying to compare my situation to more extreme situations. For some reason, YouTube keeps recommending child abuse court cases. I don't know why. Maybe thinks I'm interested, but to be honest, I have been watching them, so guess it's not wrong. People go through much more heinous things than what I've been through, like much more, but at the end of the day, your family's still your family, and to kill them does more harm to the child than anyone else. I think it's more important to help those people, and more often I think the reason these people don't get help is there's no one around to sit them down and tell them what they did, tell them what happened, and tell them, kind of have to boss them around. You don't really have a lot of other options. And people don't want to do that because it causes conflict, but it's also the only thing that's going to make a difference in that life. So this is meant to be a quick video, but now it's like 9 minutes long, so I'm just going to go ahead and end it. Especially considering the time and considering I'm kind of drinking. So I don't want to be stupid. So adios.